Wilson Select Plus, Episode 2, Search Strategy and Advanced Features. My name is Beth Duttlinger, and I'm a library consultant at the Alliance Library System. In this episode, we will be reviewing search strategies, and then we will look at some advanced features in Wilson Select Plus. For the basics in Wilson Select Plus searching, please view Episode 1 of this podcast series. Okay, let's cover some search strategy basics. If you are a serious searcher, you should know your assignment. What are you required to do? How many sources do you need? What kind of sources are required? How long does it have to be? Do you have an assigned topic, or can you pick your own? If you can pick your own, does it need to be approved? Take a minute then to define your search. It's helpful to write it down. What are the keywords and phrases? Are there synonyms? So be on the lookout for additional terms. And then keep track of searches and add to your list as you find additional terms and descriptors. It's very helpful to have that paper with you when you're doing your searches so that you can check back, see what you've done, and move on if you're having difficulty by using different terms. As we look at Wilson Select Plus Advanced Search Features, let's imagine that we have an assignment. We have a 2 to 4 page paper with 4 sources that are needed, and at least 2 of those have to be magazines or journals. We can pick any topic, and I've decided on, is there a liberal bias in the media coverage of presidential elections? In Episode 1, we looked at the basic searching techniques for Wilson Select Plus. Now let's look at some of the advanced strategies. Wilson Select Plus is a lot like Google, in that if you type in words, it will look for all the words in your search string. For example, for our topic, I've decided to first search for the basic terms I've identified: liberal, bias, media. You'll notice that this search looks for the keyword liberal and bias and media, even though I didn't type in the word "and" between the search terms. Since there are 66 articles retrieved, let's look at the first article by clicking on the title. You'll remember from Episode 1 that by clicking on the title, you'll be able to see the citation plus the descriptors, and in some cases an abstract of the article. It's very easy to view the article in either HTML or PDF, and we can also locate some additional terms to add to our lists. In this case, I've identified presidential candidates and press coverage. This is a very current article, and I think it may be helpful, so I'm going to mark it. To do that, I'm going to click on the box after the forward/back buttons at the top of the record. You can also mark the record if you are on the list record screen with the multiple citations. The mark button is in front of the articles. Now let's go to the second article. This one is from the Columbia Journalism Review and is also on topic, so I'm going to mark it. I see another descriptor, journalism objectivity, and that sounds very promising, so I'm going to click on that descriptor to see what else I can find. Just looking through the first 10 articles under journalism objectivity, I don't see any articles that seem right on, so let's look at the next 10. Some of these could possibly be helpful, but I'm specifically looking for information regarding presidential elections, so let's revise this search. When we click on the Searching tab, you'll see the subject has been changed to journalism objectivity. Let's add the descriptor from our first record, which was presidential candidates, as a keyword. Remember that keyword searches will look in the title, abstract, and descriptors. This only retrieves a few records, so let's remove the term candidates and redo the search. And that's better. Now we have 12 records. As you can see at the top, this is a much more advanced search. By filling out the boxes the way we did, our search was only looking for the subjects of journalism and objectivity, not just as keywords. Then it combines this with the keyword presidential. It looks a little like an equation in the display. Subject journalism and subject objectivity in parentheses and keyword presidential. Using operators such as "and" allows us to combine terms and make it easier to locate materials on a certain subject. This is called Boolean searching. Boolean searches allow you to combine words and phrases using the words "and," "or," and "not," which are otherwise known as Boolean operators, and this allows you to limit, widen, or define your search. Most internet search engines and web directories default to the "and" operator, but a good web searcher should know how to use the 3 Boolean operators and what they do. We've been doing a lot of searching using "and." These diagrams illustrate what information is being retrieved. Let's take our subject of journalism and objectivity. The information we are retrieving has to have both journalism and objectivity in the subject area as demonstrated by the red area in diagram 1. If it has one or the other, it will not be included. It has to have both. Now if we say journalism or objectivity, it will retrieve any with either the word journalism or the word objectivity or both, as shown in diagram 2. A not search will retrieve journalism and not objectivity. So if the search had journalism and objectivity, it would not be retrieved. The red area in diagram 3 shows the set that it would retrieve, which would just be journalism. These Venn diagrams are a great way to show the results of these Boolean searches. Wilson Select Plus automatically adds the AND when searching multiple terms. If you want to search for words in a phrase, Wilson Select Plus has a phrase searching, which involves positional operators. If you want to search for phrases, the easiest way to specifically look for a phrase, one word right after the other in that order, is to use quotation marks. Let's go back to our topic. Is there a liberal bias to media coverage of presidential elections? If we're looking for the phrase media bias, we can put it in quotation marks. We can also add other terms in combination. So media bias in quotation marks, president, retrieves 5 records. Media with bias and president. In plain language, the quotation marks cause the search addition of the positional operator with. Positional operators locate records in which the search terms are in close proximity with the same record. 5 records are a little too narrow for me, so I'm going to use another tool called truncation. Truncation allows you to search for a term and its variations by entering a minimum of the first 3 letters of the term followed by an asterisk. So what if I want to find any form of the word president? Not only president, but also presidential and presidents. We can retype the search using truncation. Let's type in president asterisk. Now we have 13 records. Let's mark a couple more records. We've been marking records throughout this search. Now let's view those marked records. Let's click on Marked Records. Now you will see only the records we thought were the most significant. This allows us to focus on those records that are helpful. Since we've mostly been focusing on collecting relevant articles that we think will be helpful, we now have time to go and read these entire articles to see if we want to use them in our research. It is very easy to look at each of the records individually, view the articles, print, and save. We also have the citations, so we'll be able to cite these resources later. One other thing I would like to show you before we finish up is that you can search for a citation. In some cases, you may have either a publication title or part of a citation that you would like to locate. If you know the name of the publication, type it in and change the box that now says keyword to source. In this case, let's type in Time for Time Magazine. It will start displaying the most recent articles first. That's a lot of articles. Now if you had more of the citation, you could also add it. Maybe you know the date, December 8th, 2008. Type it in and change the box to publication date. This narrows it down to 18 articles. Maybe you don't know the date, but you know the title of the article. Let's take out the date and type in New Liberal Order and change the box to title. This retrieves the full article. If you are unable to locate an article, recheck the citation information you have. Try searching just by keyword or author. It might be that the citation is correct though, and it's just not available full text in Wilson Select Plus. These are just some of the advanced search techniques in Wilson Select Plus. As you become more familiar with these techniques, you will be able to search more quickly and efficiently. Your searching will improve not only in Wilson Select Plus, but in other databases, catalogs, and of course in web searching, since many of these same techniques can be applied. It is also important to know your assignment and define your search. Using a good search strategy and keeping track of additional terms as you search will make your research go much more smoothly. Always remember that Wilson Select Plus has a Help tab available, and if you have any questions, you can always ask for help. Good luck on your searching.